What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and fellow hobbyists out there? Welcome to P&Q, the question and answer series, where you ask me a question or put a comment to me, and then I respond. And as usual, at the moment, I'm getting the questions off of my iPad here, saving paper and all that, saving the planet, blah, blah, blah. I did 10 questions last time. Oh, but before we go further, I have to say, I can't tell you enough how much I enjoyed doing that after all these years. It's been too long. I forgot how much I enjoy these Q&A sessions, so they're not scripted, as you can probably tell. But I did 10 questions last time, as it turned out. I didn't know how many I was going to get through because I wasn't sure how I was going to articulate myself, how I was going to just gel with the whole, take it as I find it kind of thing. But I'm going to do another 10 this week, possibly a bonus one of 11, because it's one I have to ask. I'll do it at the end. It's a question I meant to answer last time. It was a question one of my subscribers put on a recent video, and I felt bad that I didn't get a chance to address it, so I will do that this time. So another 10 plus a bonus one. I'm just going to jump straight into this. I do have coffee, decaf. Got lion's mane mushroom in it to help my brain. See if we can get through this together, shall we? Right, okay. So I'll just start this one off. It says, what is your favourite edition of Warhammer 40k? And that's quite an easy question, so I'll take a sip of coffee to slow myself down a bit. Right. My favourite edition of Warhammer 40k is 6th edition. Alright. It had the psychic phase in it, but not as an actual phase. So it didn't have the psychic phase. It had psychic. You could use psychic powers, but there was no phase to it. And if you forgot to do it, then it's tough titties. You were left out of that. If you can't say, oh, I forgot to do my psychic powers. Couldn't go back and do it. Whereas 7th, when it came out, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. They've put in a psychic phase so you don't forget it. But I don't know. I liked the rule book of 6. That was the thickest one out of all of them. It's like huge. It's a real tome. And I thought, yeah, that's what I like. So my favourite by far was 6th edition. Plus it was the edition that got me into 40k. So good memories for me on that one. Okay. Right, next question. Do other YouTube channels inspire you? Yes, of course they do. And, well, like these Q&As. They're called P&Qs, right? And I got that inspiration from Mini War Gamer J with his Q&Js, which stood for questions and J. No. Yeah, so P&Q, Peter, and questions, so that's a thing. So he's inspired me. He inspired me really to do the paint along series, my on the bench series, which is later added the nuance of the on the beach series, painting, hobbying, building, and talking to you guys at the same time. He was the inspiration behind that. I've had people inspire me with one of my other channels in particular. Yeah, the Werewolf and Seaton channel. The other two didn't really have any inspiration. I just did my own thing for that. But yeah, and Mini Wargaming, when I first got into the hobby, obviously they were a huge inspiration to me. I mean, there was the sit and talks, which I wanted to emulate. But the real push for me was the Q&Js that Jay did on his channel. So yeah, and a lot of other channels inspire me in lots of different ways. Like there's a whole plethora of YouTube channels out there that just do tutorials. I get heavily inspired by them. Not that I'm ever perceiving to see myself as, like a amazing painter like they are. I'm not like competition worthy or anything like that, though I have entered in competitions before. But what I'm saying is they are an inspiration to me to do it. The main, I would say, puzzle or drawback for me, but the main issue I have is how I film them. I'm only a one-man show, so I don't have a staff of people helping to film me or edit me. Wherever I film, I have to edit together myself, and I have to do all that, put the sound on the film and the blah blah blah, edit it, render it, upload it to YouTube. It takes time. But yes, the answer to the question is yes. I think I'm going to be taking a sip of coffee after every question here at this rate. Right, on with the next one. Another easy one. Do you watch other YouTube channels while you hobby? Is there a favourite type you enjoy? Yes, I enjoy watching paint-along videos. One of my most watched ones would be Painting with Jay from Mini Wargamer Jay. Again, the person that inspired me to do my On the Benches, and I wanted to do them because he stopped for a long time, and I just wanted to do them. He was not doing any more, so I did them. I just carried on and kept going. I don't really watch anything else when I'm hobbying. I don't listen to music or audiobooks. I need to be focused totally on my models. That's what gives me the focus to block out the pain in my limbs, all that kind of stuff to help reset my mind for me, get out of the real life working week, etc., and reset my mind for me. Okay, so I've done that one. Okay, here's another one. You sometimes put up very random videos on your channel. I do, it's true. Why is that? Because it won't really help you to grow. Maybe you ought to narrow down your content, try and streamline it somewhat. Nah, I ain't gonna do that, mate. I ain't gonna do that, bruv. Because there's too much stuff I like. And I like randomness. I like doing nostalgic stuff. A trip down memory lane. I might just want to film where I am at that moment. That's just, the random is random. And that's a playlist I enjoy. As far as playlists go, that's probably one of my favourite, random. Yeah, so I'm not fussed about growing my channel. It ain't bad. I'm happy with it the way it is. I'm not going to be making a living off it, sadly. But then if I was making a living off of my channel, I'd be forced and pressured to be producing content constantly, and I'd be getting stressed out to hell, and that would make me poorly, and then that would probably end me. So, no. I'm happy with where I am with YouTube. Okay, and obviously I'm happy with the randomness of my channel. It can go everywhere. I don't care. Right, where do you see your channel 5 years from now? Probably it's pretty much the same as it is now, 5 years ago, and it hasn't really changed a lot. I've no plans to change it. I add things here and there, and I take things away. Do excuse me. My phone keeps on buzzing. Back in the game. God, phones, eh? Right. So yeah, back to the question. Where do I see myself 5 years from now? Probably pretty much the same place, just surrounded by more stuff. More stuff. Okay. So how many questions is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway through. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right, next question is, what are your thoughts on the holographic universe theory? Oh my word. How long have I got? Holographic universe? There is I don't know where you want me to go with this. What are my thoughts on it? I don't see any reason why not. Why we don't live in a hologram. There's no evidence to suggest we do or don't. Well, there's more evidence to suggest we do than there is to suggest we don't. In fact, there's no evidence to suggest we don't. And there is quite an overwhelming amount to say we do. But people say, oh no, it can't be, because, you know, why not? You know, you've got to be open to the possibility. And what is, like he says in The Matrix, what is real? You know, if it's what you can taste, touch, sense, smell, hear, it's nothing more than electrical impulses sent to your brain. So why not? Why couldn't the whole experience of life just be one holographic simulation? Why not? So I guess my thoughts on it are just that. Why not? Sure, I'm open to it. Okay, here's a nice easy one. I like easy ones. You need an easy one to come down after a question like that. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Well, it depends. In the mornings, I prefer coffee. In the afternoons, I prefer tea. Then into the evening, I'll go back to coffee. And then if I'm going to have another drink at bedtime, it'll be a specialised tea, what my wife likes to call her sleepy tea, to help me settle down and go to sleep. Calms me down. Hope that answers the question. Okay, do you have any real life ghost experiences? I believe there's one I put on, and sometimes I do the Halloween P&Qs, and I've done it years past. Not directly, but someone I know. Well, let's just say we'll because you know we don't want to deal in real people here. Hypothetically, okay. There's a person, okay, who had a girlfriend who did a bit of house sitting for someone when they went on holiday, you know, sometimes, you know, and they thought it was a good bit of extra income. Doesn't matter about that, it's not important. Important thing is, one evening, she was at their home, and she had this overwhelming feeling of being watched. And she felt really creeped out by it, and actually physically scared, you know. So she phoned her boyfriend, who had to calm her down. And this was late at night. It was I forget what time now. Probably around 10, 11 o'clock at night. It was winter time, so it was darkly early anyway. So, and he told her, "Look, okay, come over to mine." In his words, "Come over to mine. I'll pick you up on the corner of, say, East Street, in 10 minutes, whatever. But before we do that, let's just go through the house now." It was one of those phones, cordless phone, you know. So I'll stay on the phone with you. We'll go through each and every room. You know, I'm not disbelieving you, but we'll just see if there's anything there. I'm with you. So she said, "Oh, okay." So they went through, like, they were started upstairs. The bedrooms, I think there was 3 bedrooms. So bedroom 1, can you see anything? Turn the lights on. Like, no, I can't see anything. Right, turn the light off, because we're going to be leaving the house. Go in the second bedroom, do the same. There's nothing in here. And the third bedroom, the bathroom. And then there was a couple of rooms downstairs. The main living room. No, there's nothing in here. Look under everything, behind everything, even in cupboards, right? There was a laundry room, a little laundry room. Nothing in there. And, you know, wasn't even any pets. It was literally a house-sitting job. Okay. It's like, right, okay, now just get your stuff together, get your coat on, and leave the phone on the side so I can hear you pull the door on the latch. And as soon as I hear that, I'm jumping in my car and I'm coming to get you. All right? So, okay, so puts the phone down on the side, so, you know, said person hears her put the phone down on the side. He hears her rummaging around, getting her coat on, etc., getting some keys out. He hears her open the front door. Hears the sound of a car going by outside, you know. Hears her close the front door on the latch, and he just gives it a couple more seconds. And then he hears someone pick up the phone, put it down on the cradle. And that's what allegedly happened. Real life ghost experience? Well, I don't know. It's a funny thing, ghosts. Anyway, anywho. Alright, where are we? Ghost experiences. Okay. Next question is, are you any... I'll start again, shall I? Getting tongue-tied. I'm trying to go too quickly here. Right. Are you where you want to be in life? Am I where I want to be in life? Yeah. Yeah, I'm where I want to be in life. Yeah. My personal life is pretty successful now. Very successful. I measure success, you know. The only thing I could do with changing is having more personal time. And then my life would be perfect. You know, that's... And I'm not even going to say, oh, that's a pipe dream, or that's, you know, nobody gets that. No, I'm going to get it. It's happening. But pretty much I'm where I want to be in life. Sure, I've got MS, I've got epilepsy. I don't care. Whatever. Couldn't care less. If that's all you got to throw at me, whatever. You can't throw anything that's not physical at me. Come my way. So what? I know that I'm more than this physical being, right? I am infinite awareness. I'm having a human experience in this realm, whatever it may be. I will either die and go on to something else that I'm aware of. Cool. I will either die and it's lights out, game over. But it won't matter because I won't be aware of it. So again, cool. So what? That's it. Okay, so yeah, I'm where I want to be in life. Right. Okay. Next question. As you can see, I have a few. I think I've got a few issues. I'm doing it again. I've got a few episodes left here in this. What is your favourite decade and why? Easy one, my son. The 80s. The 80s are my favourite decade because they were just so cool. People dressed better. People had better taste in music. Life was better. It's just 80s were cool. You know. I preferred the 80s to the 70s. I'm more nostalgic for the 70s only because I'm a very nostalgic person anyway. And it was back here. It was where I came from. But really, the 80s, I'm glad to have those memories. There's so many to pick through. And, I had some good times. Good friends and some good life experiences. Yeah, it was a good time. 80s all the way. Right, I think that is 10 questions. Let me go back and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so that means we're on to the bonus question now, which I didn't answer last time, and I'm very, very sorry about that, whoever it was that asked me this. But the question is the Pebbles B&B still open? For those of you that don't know, I live in a place called Seaton in East Devon, and going down towards the seafront on Sea Hill, that there is, or at least there was, a B&B called Pebbles, and I'm afraid to say it's not a B&B anymore. I don't know if it's been sold and taken over by someone else, but it's it looks like a normal residential house. I think it's been changed back to residential use now. So not a B&B anymore, just a big house. Yeah. But I mean, there's loads of B&Bs around there. And if you ever want a few examples of some, heck, if you want me to do a video on it, I'll go around and I'll do a video of them, and I'll show you. Take your pick. But I'm afraid the Pebbles B&B is not there anymore. The only Pebbles that we have around Seaton is the cafe, Pebbles Cafe, and they're still going. I'll probably be going there tomorrow actually for some breakfast. Sunday thing. And that's it, my friends. So I am going to put little ticks against the questions I've answered, just so that I don't get lost for next time. Okay, oops. There. I don't know if you can see that. I've put little ticks next to them. Yeah. And I'll carry on next time. Yeah, I've got, another 2, possibly another 3 episodes. Well, maybe more than that, actually. Maybe 4 episodes left. Unless, of course, anybody gives me some questions down below or puts comments to me. Want me to talk about something. It doesn't matter. It can be anything. What's my favourite brand of razor blade? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Anything at all. You ask me, I'll answer it or I'll respond to it. I can't say the following week anymore at the moment because my life is so unpredictable that I just can't promise that kind of thing. But it will get done. It will get, as I've proved with that question, it got answered, and here we are. And roll on the next episode. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If you've made it this far, a huge thank you, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you could please take it upon yourself just to give the video a thumbs up, a like. That costs nothing, and that helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps me get recommended to others, and that would be nice. Yeah, so thanks for that. Do remember, all brushes lead to war. There's a lot more painting stuff coming up soon, and I will see you on another video. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.